I can tell you that the quality of the aftermarket parts is not the same as the quality of the manufacturer parts. And they talk about testing. Nobody is testing any of these aftermarket parts, and there's plenty of them readily available today. There's a slice of the pie that some people are missing out of, and they're not happy about it, so they're going to help you. Have you help them so that they can get a seat at the table to really create you harm.
Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of the Airing of Grievances. I'm Eric Reamer. This is Robert Grieve, and we are very happy that you are here today. Now, if this is your first time joining us, we always invite you to get comfortable. In fact, get so comfortable that if you want to comment in the comments below or while we're doing the premiere, you can actually chat with us live every Saturday morning at 9:30 a.m. in the Mountain Standard Time Zone. But also, feel free to click that thumbs up button. That lets YouTube know that the content that we're providing
Don't feel free, just do it.
Just do it. Okay, just... You know, Nike said that.
That's it.
Once. All right, and if you are one of our regulars, we greet you. We say thanks so much for being a part of our family. And if you don't mind, if you haven't yet, click that subscribe button and don't forget the notification bell. That lets you know when we put more information out. On that note, Rob, happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday to you, my dear friends. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Okay, Rob. So you are a busy man, but not too busy to skip over some of the trade magazines and things like that are available to our industry. And one of the trade magazines, I believe, is Aftermarket Matters. And you brought up an article.
Yeah. And, you know, I encourage people to go and find this, just aftermarketmatters.com.
Yeah.
The title of this article is Analysis. Without legislative action, vehicle owners will pay significantly more for repairs.
Sounds serious.
Yes, they make the claim, compared to independent repair shops, dealerships charge 36% more for repairs, says the study.
Okay.
And so inside of here, it talks about two bills that are running through legislation right now.
Yes.
And they've got some co-signers on both of them. And they're, you know, it's we're here from the government, and we're here to help. If that doesn't hurt, I don't know what does. If these, you know, the unintentional consequences of these bills on you, the consumer, and for people repairing vehicles, we're not just talking about collision repair, we're talking about independent, you know, like service repair centers,
sure,
and so on and so forth. It will have some pretty extreme consequences, and they have it really well written to the point that you would say, well, why wouldn't anybody want that?
Yeah, I'm in the PR industry, and some people call people like me the spin doctors,
yeah,
right? And not to be confused with those spin doctors.
Yes.
But somebody who is very skilled with their ability to choose words and write them down has written quite a story, and it puts you, the consumer, as the victim, which is probably misplaced, at least in my humble but accurate opinion. And you finish reading this and you go, what's the problem?
Yeah, it's
Let's talk about the two bills, what they are, what they
one is on the Repair Act, which is really a regurgitated Right to Repair Act.
Yes.
And then the other one is on the
Smart.
the Smart Act.
Right.
Both of them are meant to. Both of them say they're meant to give you access to your own information and give your chosen independent repair facility access to information, and that all sounds well and good. Who wouldn't want that? That's all fine and dandy.
Well, if you're to listen to the narrative, the big bad wolf does not want that.
Yeah, no. Well, there's a slice of the pie that some people are missing out of, and they're not happy about it. So they're going to help you. Have you help them, so that they can get a seat at the table to really create you harm in the end.
All right.
So, yeah, this is all about Washington being here to help you, and because you don't know what you need, and this is what really struck me, and I had to go a few pages.
Yeah.
This is reported in this article that in January of 2022, in the days leading up to the Biden administration, President Biden tweeted, "When you own a product, you should be able to repair it yourself. That's why I include support for right to repair in my executive order." I'm not sure what executive order he's talking about.
Nor am I.
But I will tell you that when I see, I want to be able to repair it myself. And we're not just talking about cars here. We're talking about everything.
Yep.
Whether it's your Rolex watch or your iPhone or Android, these people think that you have an interest in repairing these yourself. I can tell you that I do not.
I will not be attempting.
Should you be able to change the screen on your phone if it's cracked? Maybe you're adventurous and you want to do that. I know if I took this screen off of here, all the guts would fall all over the place, and I'd need a new phone anyway, so why not just go get a new phone?
Yeah. Or take it to somebody who knows how to repair it.
Yeah, and the same thing with your Rolex watch. Why don't you just pull that cover off the back and start, switching things out to, to save yourself some money and see how much money you save.
We do not recommend that, and just letting you know, that's where we stand.
Yeah. And so there's so many misleading comments, and I'll just call them misleading. Some of them I look at and they make my hair stand straight up. But they're like, currently what's going on by denying consumers their preferred independent repair providers to access critical information, car makers and dealers can reduce competition and increase the cost of the vehicle repairs. I don't really believe that's what's going on, because everybody already has the information available to them.
I'm sorry. Could you speak up a little bit? We didn't hear that.
Everybody already has the information available to them. We're a Lexus authorized repair facility.
Yes.
Okay, and we have access to the Toyota and Lexus technical information.
Sure.
That helps us make sure that we're repairing the cars properly.
Right.
I don't know if I should share this or not, but everybody can get this information. We're not a Lexus dealer. Lexus didn't all of a sudden say, boom, you now have access to all this. We've had access to it for years. We know what tools are required. This act is not going to magically provide all the repairers tools to repair cars and the manufacturer is going to fund it. It doesn't work that way. They talk about the dealers charging more. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. It's, you look at labor rates, and, I just had somebody tell me that they took a car to an independent repair shop, and to fix something that landed up being relatively, not that hard to fix in the end.
Right.
Took them 12 hours to get there, and that was 12 hours times the rate. What if you had taken it to somebody that already knew that vehicle and what was going on, and it took 2 hours to fix at a little higher labor rate, which one would have saved you money?
That's a great question.
You know, it's these types of things. The technical information to repair these vehicles is currently and has been available for a very long time.
So that's a smoke
People are not
screen.
using it.
Yeah, that's a smoke screen for what they really want.
Yes, yes. The other part of this is the parts. And they want to take the manufacturer and say, instead of having a 14-year patent on all your intellectual property and design and all the effort you put into this unit.
That's what exists today. It's a 14-year
Let's not
period.
talk about a car. Let's talk about this.
Right.
Should everybody have access to what makes this thing tick and all of Apple's proprietary information and all the parts available to make this thing
Currently,
do
there is a
something?
14-year
Patent.
patent hold on that, because they put all the R&D in, they put all the money in, they put all the equipment and testing and all that stuff.
Yeah, and all the stuff this thing does that I don't even know that it does.
Yeah.
And all the stuff that it could do that I don't know how to make it do.
Right.
I don't need to get inside this thing. Just do what I need to do with it. Cars, houses, everything else are no different.
But they want to reduce that.
They want to reduce the 14-year U.S. patent law, and I think it's just on vehicle manufacturers.
In this particular case, I believe you're accurate.
To 2.5 years.
2.5 years.
Yes. And, all right, I mean, I got no dog in this fight. It doesn't matter to me. But what we're saying here is, if we go to the next bullet point, it will allow alternative parts suppliers to research, develop, and make and test parts on a not-for-sale basis during the new patent period. So during the 2.5 years, they can't make and sell any parts, but they can make them.
Right.
So that they have an inventory ready the minute 2.5 years hits.
Right.
I can tell you that the quality of the aftermarket parts is not the same as the quality of the manufacturer parts. And they talk about testing. Nobody is testing any of these aftermarket parts, and there's plenty of them readily available today. I mean, you can buy a hood for basically whatever you want for $200-300.
Okay.
Maybe the dealer is going to charge $600 for that hood.
All right.
It's possible, maybe not even that much. Many of them are aluminum. That's going to cost more.
Okay.
Than a steel hood. They're not crash tested. They're not crash tested as a unit, meaning front bumper, headlights, grill, fenders, hood.
Right.
When it gets smashed, how do all these parts interact with each other to keep you safe? What they're going to sell you is a hood that looks like the hood that you have on your car today.
And there's the keyword, looks like.
Yeah, it's not the same. It's not the same, and from a consumer standpoint, I would never have one of these parts on my vehicle. They diminish the value of your vehicle. Your vehicle is worth less having patchwork aftermarket parts on it compared to having all factory parts on it the way it was born.
We did a video many months ago, but I had glass replaced in my vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
And after a long process of fighting back and forth for the OEM glass that I paid for the policy to get, they put in an OEM shield, right? A windshield.
Right.
And it has the label for the brand of car that I have. If you get a part that is not OEM, it will be missing that label. And you and anybody who buys and sells vehicles are
Will know
trained
that.
to look at that.
And you will be paid less for the vehicle. So because you paid less for these parts, which let's keep this in context,
Right.
It's generally an insurance claim. So if you have a deductible, you're not getting any of your deductible back.
Right.
You're just getting an inferior part that is going to diminish your vehicle, so you can get less when you trade it in. And
That's
the
a
only one that
brilliant
wins,
way to say it.
two people that win: the insurance company And the aftermarket part suppliers, they want a piece of this pie big, and they're willing to put all in on these legislative actions to diminish your product, is basically what it comes down to. I can't get behind it myself.
Yeah. Which is why we bring it today.
Yeah,
right?
I'm bringing it up today because this stuff is moving through the government. Whether it's going to make it or not, I'm not sure. But it's frustrating to hear some of the accusations that are, and there's 2 white papers that are worth reading in here also.
Sure, I'll put a link to those in the description box below.
It's interesting information. It's somewhat factual, fractionally.
That's the nature of spin.
There's a little bit of truth running through there, but it's don't look over here, look over here.
Yeah.
You know, it's
That's the nature of spin, right? And it really does strike me. I mean, you look at the money behind these 2 bills, and they are the money is brought to you by the Car Association, right? The Car Coalition.
Let's talk about the Car Coalition, if
Yeah.
I can interrupt real quick.
Please.
Washington, D.C. The Car Coalition, a growing group of independent automotive parts, not OEM parts, management and repair companies, associations, and insurers committed to preserving consumers' choice and affordable vehicle repair.
That's my point. You follow the money in any of these things.
None of these
follow the
people have your best interest at heart. Trust me on that.
money. No, they have their business, their own business at heart. And so, again, we just say consider the source and be careful be careful, little eyes, what you see.
Yeah. I want to go back to that dealer comment too. That the dealer is more expensive.
Yeah.
And you know, on the face, you would think that that's the case, and it may actually be the case. They know your car, okay? And as a former dealer, 2 Lincoln stores I ran service departments, I ran body shops, I was in charge of the parts department, all those things. Here's how it works. Ford Motor Company, call it. It doesn't matter who, Lex, anybody, any dealer. They come out with a new widget to fix a car. That you need this widget in order to fix that car.
Okay.
It gets sent to you. You don't have to go and buy the widget. It's going to show up on your doorstep, and the bill is going to show up the next month to pay for it. The same way it happens for me, except for I actually have to order it.
Right.
The equipment that we have here, anybody can buy.
Sure.
Unless you're a shop, I'm not sure why you would, because you know you need several pieces of equipment to repair a car today, and all of them are $100,000 plus a piece.
Yeah, I was going to say it costs you $1 million to make the repair of that $23,000
right
vehicle.
And so you just so the technicians must go through training,
right,
on every single thing that the manufacturer puts in front of them.
Sure.
That costs the dealer money. They charge for that. They charge the dealer for that. The same way they charge me for that. All the training I send these, I pay for all of it the same way everybody else, anybody can.
Yep.
Okay. You got the tools that are going to show up, and you have the training that they have to take that costs money, and then you have the access to the information.
Yep.
That they charge the dealers for the same way they charge me, and the same way Bob's Backyard Barbecue and Body Shop, who wants to fix a car, has access. If you have access to the internet, you have access to go on these sites. Here's the thing, folks, you got to pay.
You got to pay.
Everybody has to pay. Nobody gets it for free. But it's there. It's available. All the stuff that we use to fix cars today is available to you and everybody else.
Right.
You just have to get on the site, pay, and then hopefully you find it, what you're looking for. But all of the stuff that they say needs to be made available to you is already available.
Right.
It's already available. You can get it. I mean, we have the tech stream, which is the computer that we use to access the onboard diagnostics of Toyota Lexus vehicles.
Sure.
It's an $8,000 piece of equipment. It doesn't end there. You still have to have a $1,600 or $1,800 a year subscription to access the subscription to make the computer work.
Right.
And it doesn't end there because the person using it has to understand how to use it and what it's telling them.
And neither you nor a dealership is charging you, the consumer, all of that money for the purpose of fixing your car. They're spreading it out over time and
Yep.
and number of volume of repairs. Yeah,
So these acts are, it's frustrating to see some of the charges that are in here.
Yeah.
Like if you read one of the white papers, it's calling out that 24% of vehicles are totaled because of the price of parts and all the rest of the other stuff that goes into it.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't make it economical to fix it.
Right.
I wonder how much of that 25% is insurers saying I can get more money for that at the auction than it would cost me to fix it, so it's a better bet for me to just total it and send it to the auction than it is to fix it.
We saw a big surge of that in the pandemic period.
Still going on.
Right?
Yeah, it's still going on. It's still going on. So of that 24%, and then they're crying that, that's what you need to get to work and all the rest of that. I need the same things. You need the same things. We don't want our vehicles totaled. Accidents happen.
Right.
This bill isn't going to stop accidents from happening, and it's going to not stop cars from getting totaled.
But it will make your vehicle worth less if those who want to charge less, put less inferior products on.
Yeah.
You described
All this
it
information is available to repair shops, whether they're service shops or body shops, whatever the case may be. People aren't accessing them today. The mere thought that now we're going to make it a law that you can access it, which you already can access it.
Right.
They're not going to say you have to be able to access it for free because they can't do that.
Right.
So who knows? Maybe the price of accessing is going to go up because the government got involved. I'm not sure. But shops are not accessing the information today, is my point.
Yeah.
It's available. These politicians somehow have been, coerced into believing otherwise, and it's just not the truth. The OEMs have the repair procedures out there because they want you to fix their car properly.
Sure.
They charge the dealers for the information. They can't give it to us for free if they're already charging their own licensed dealers for the information.
Right.
So, I don't know. And none of that is going to change because of these bills. Trust me.
All right.
So, that's what I got for today.
We will keep you updated on how these two bills move their way through the Congress. And Rob, as always, I'm grateful for your information, your insight.
Saturday to
Happy
you.
Saturday to you.
My dear friends, have an amazing week, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Tomorrow I'm on a plane to Detroit to work on some great stuff with SCRS in our annual planning meeting, planning for next year. So
Fantastic.
Got great stuff coming down the road. Stay tuned for that as well. Have a great week.